In the classic novel To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, Atticus Finch once said, "People generally see what they look for and hear what they listen for." What does this mean? Surely not that we physically block out all that we do not wish to see or hear. No, this means that we find ourselves pieces of a society that sticks to what it understands, and anything that does not fall into that category we either discriminate against or refuse to accept that it even exists. Ladies, gentlemen, and all those in between, it is my great honor to inform you of a common yet poorly recognized trait known as prejudice. You may be wondering, what is prejudice? Well, prejudice is a view of the closed-minded. To be more specific, prejudice is a premature judgment or opinion of a person based solely on their race, gender, sexuality, religion, or language. This opinion is usually negative. The first prejudice studies were on racism and took place during the early 1920s, although they had little outcome until the 1970s, when research began to show that prejudice was classification into groups, and that it was not so much negative feelings towards other groups as favoritism towards one's own group. There are many contemporary theories regarding prejudice, one of them being the integrated threat theory, or ITT. ITT defines 4 threats: realistic threats, symbolic threats, negative stereotypes, and intergroup anxiety. All of these threats have relations to competition, spirituality, or anxious feelings towards other groups and their stereotypes. This applies to all forms of prejudice, and there are many. One common form of prejudice is sexism. Although sexism is becoming rare in North America, it is still strong in less developed countries. One of the more cruel sexist rituals that is found in many countries is called honor killings. Honor killings are usually reserved for women and are a ritual in which the victim is stoned to death. Victims of honor killings are chosen for refusing to take part in an arranged marriage, being a homosexual, or becoming the victim of rape. In many of these countries, women are also deprived of their rights. Take Malala Yousafzai, for example, who was shot in the head when she stood up for her education. She now lives in Europe and is the youngest nominee ever for the Nobel Peace Prize at the age of 16. However, in her homeland of Pakistan, as well as many countries around the world, women still fight for their rights. Sexual discrimination, also known as homophobia, is quite possibly one of the most common forms of prejudice in the modern world. Homophobia is not an actual phobia or affliction, but simply the description of a person who is against homosexuality, or those who are attracted to the same sex. Why are so many people against homosexuality? The answer lies in our anatomy. Due to many characteristics that are specific to one sex, only opposite sex partners are able to reproduce. For this reason, heterosexuality is more common, with only 20% of our population being homosexual. Because there are less of them, homosexuals are classed under many stereotypes. Homosexual women are classed as being gruff, strong, and manly, while homosexual men are classed as being weak, flamboyant, and feminine. Although these stereotypes are more commonly relied on in North America and Europe, homosexuality is more widely accepted in these 2 continents than any other. In fact, Canada is one of the 3 most accepting countries in the world, along with Germany and Spain. America has 10 times the population of Canada, so why are they 20% less accepting than us? The reason is that a richer country with more inhabitants instantly has more social media. Although we say that we accept all, gay is one of the most commonly used words in the social media, and the way we use it is far from accepting. Prejudice is extremely common, however, that does not make it acceptable. It is a natural trait that all humans have, but we show too much of it, and too much prejudice stops just being hurtful and becomes dangerous. It has been the cause of many suicides and murders. It is the reason people bully. And although its definition is pretty self-explanatory, prejudice leaves behind one question. How long will it take us to realize that it's our differences that make us need each other? Because if we don't accept each other and work together, we're never going to get anywhere. Thank you.